Good evening and thank you for joining us. Labor leaders rallied in Windsor today on the first day of the two-week shutdown at the Windsor Assembly Plant. The Canadian Labour Congress says tariffs continue to threaten Canadian jobs. They are calling for immediate and bold action from the government to protect its workers. Bob Bellacicco has been following this story for us. And Bob, there is a differing view of the tariffs inside the UAW.
A Canadian UAW president lent his support to the Canadian Labour Congress and Canadian workers today, despite the fact that UAW President Shawn Fain is in favor of auto tariffs imposed by the Donald Trump administration.
Workers are facing the fallout of Trump's unjustified and reckless trade war. And let's be clear, this isn't a trade attack, it's a full-on attack.
B. Brusk, president of the Canadian Labour Congress, or CLC, is calling Trump's 25% tariff on the Canadian auto industry a direct hit, impacting more than 500,000 Canadian jobs. Today is the first day of a two-week shutdown at Windsor Assembly, expected to last until April 21st. And it's not just Windsor. The automaker is pausing production at its Toluca assembly plant in Mexico for all of April, as well as temporarily laying off 900 workers at plants in Michigan and Indiana.
Whatever he's trying to achieve in terms of getting more manufacturing back to the U.S., this is already impacting UAW members on the southern side of the border as well.
The CLC is calling on the government to protect and support Canadian workers.
If this government of Canada can move mountains in 2020 to save Bay Street, they sure as hell can save Main Street in 2025.
Brusk suggests reducing interest rates on credit cards and lines of credit to help workers facing layoffs so they aren't buried in debt.
We need to give families breathing room. We need to allow deferrals on mortgages, on car loans, on personal loans, on credit cards right across the board.
While Canadian unions stand in solidarity, it's not the same story with the United Auto Workers Union.
The UAW is in support of the workers in Canada.
That statement by Bill Pollock, president of UAW Local 251, headquartered in Wallaceburg, contradicts UAW President Shawn Fain.
Tariffs aren't the solution to everything. Tariffs are a tool in the toolbox. But ultimately, we've got to fix the broken trade system.
Fain is voicing his support of auto tariffs imposed by the Donald Trump administration.
Shawn Fain is wrong. From my viewpoint as president of the CLC, he's absolutely wrong.
We need to elect leaders at this time who will continue to fight for everyday people, not just investors, not just corporate lobbyists. We need people who understand that the workers are the heart of our country.
The CLC says it will continue to fight for good jobs in Canada and urges voters during this election period to ask important questions to candidates that will be knocking on their doors, like, what are you doing to support industry and community? Stephanie?
Definitely important questions to ask, Bob. Thank you for this.